Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Klein Friesland and the Dutch Pig Farmer series. So, we are just returning from completing several contracts. It dawned on me after some dialogue on Discord with some of the members that money. We're going to need to make a fair bit of cash, and the possibility of feeding 1,000 pigs on a map this size could be tricky. So one, we've got to pay the loan off, and two, we might at some point need to substitute the feeding of the pigs with buying pig food. So hence why contracts will be done. Now, even more importantly, if we go to the save menu, because you know that always happens, and we go to our female pig, you'll see she's pregnant and she's expecting 12 babies. Oh, so cute. And they are expected on the 20th of January 2026. So all good. Now we are into September. Reason being, there wasn't a fat lot to do. And I was attempting to get the sorghum to a point where the moisture level was acceptable. And it's not going to get there, I don't think. So we're going to grab the combine, we're going to go over to the field, and we're going to make a start. And then we'll chat about a few other little things. So just having a quick walk through the field, and you can see bottom right, the moisture is horrendous. I sort of was skipping time and just stood in the field, really, watching the sort of moisture go to a point that was near enough acceptable, and then it would rain. And then we had a massive influx of fog one morning, and it would not clear. So yeah, just kept skipping through the time. That's one thing I've found, actually, is that if you get a weather event like the really thick fog, it just doesn't clear. I had to go into the console commands and reload the weather. But all that being said, we are going to start the harvest, and then we'll talk about contracts, because we did a few, but they were actually quite interesting. So let's make a start, and then we'll have a bit of a chin wag. Let's get that down there. There we go. There we go. Underway. And looking not too shabby to start off with. We'll see a few little patches where it's withered, which again is the realistic weather mod, which is kind of cool. Upsetting, but kind of cool. So contracts. We did ploughing. We did cultivating. We'll come back to that because Ford tractor. Mowing, and we also did an irrigation contract. Now, I didn't know that was a thing that was introduced with the realistic weather mod, but it actually is. In fact, let's just show you. So if we go to here, there you see, irrigate the field to increase the average moisture to the target level. Now, I tried this with our slurry tanker and dribble bar. Wouldn't work. So we borrowed the equipment, and I think it was this setup. So it was the Hardy sprayer. And all you do is you load it up with water, and you drive around the field. You are effectively watering the crops. It took a while to do. We refilled goodness knows how many times, but it was actually quite cool. Something really different. Probably won't do many of them again, just because it was a lot of faffing having to refill, but nevertheless it was very cool. We did some bale wrapping. There was And I think that was it. Quite a few mowing ones with some varying different setups. And as you'll know, if you've been a long time viewer of the channel, I do like mowing. It is one of the favourite jobs, I think. So anyway, Ford tractors and cultivators. Oh, just gutless. I was really surprised. I think we'd got a 360 horsepower tractor and a cultivator that needed 300, and it was just so sluggish. Oh, we've got a bit of a flood. Oh, probably shouldn't leave the harvester running, but that's worth investigating. Where was it? So what's the moisture here then? Oh, well over. Oh, that's quite cool. Didn't know that was a thing. I really like the mod. I think the only thing I've found so far with it is, like I say, the fog lingering a lot longer than it probably should. But hey, whether that needs an update, whatever, it's easily fixable in the console menu. So yeah, we've been busy. And like I say, the Ford was not good. I don't know whether the others are any better, but I seem to remember I think it was 22 on would have been on Calmston, doing a cultivating contract with some of the versatile kit, and that as well was just so, I don't know whether it was the gearbox or what, but yeah, did not like it at all. So yeah, I'll be avoiding those, I think. Right, we are over 80% full, so that is pretty darn good, to be fair. I'm going to crack on. I'll get the headlands done and I'll catch back with you. So you join me back as we are combining through the... It's not even a puddle, it's a blooming lake or a pond. This is just ridiculous, but also cool at the same time. Yeah, didn't know that was a thing. Hopefully it'll dry out at some point. We haven't got to do anything special with it. I don't know, but yeah, this is moist. The yield doesn't seem horrendous. We've unloaded not fully, but we have needed to. Yeah, I think we've done two full unloads and one partial one. So not bad really at all. But yeah, this combine has the turning circle of barge. If you look at that, that's full lock. Trying to get around the years. It's not ideal for fields where there are ditches. This one's not too bad, but yeah, we need to be careful, I think, or I need to be careful at least. So that's the majority of the wet patch done. And I think we'll spin around here and keep going. Now, I think what the plan is going to be is to get this done today. Bit of field prep, possibly at the start of the next episode. We're going to be heading into October. Yeah, for some reason I had to check then. We're going to be heading into October next episode, so the corn might well be ready, which will be good. And then I think it's just a case of, yeah, getting the fields prepped again. We will need to plough that cornfield. But yeah, getting everything set for the spring. for when we want to put the new crops in. We need to get the root crop in the spring. And yeah, there's plenty to be going at doing. So the last block of the sorghum field we have just unloaded again, as you will see. So I'm not sure on what to put in the empty fields yet. We know that in field number 17, he says, looking at his little pad next to him, that we're putting a root crop in there. So that's that sorted. We are going to need to kind of keep things similar just because of the way that the feed types for the pigs. But yeah, we might rotate stuff round a bit. I'm hoping, and it all depends, like I say, on the cash flow, possibly to expand our fields, as in the amount that we have, not expand the fields literally. Buy some more land would probably be the better way to phrase that, because I think we're going to need it. We're all right at the moment. Yeah, okay for now. We've got 2 pigs currently. We've got plenty of food. We've got a bit of straw. So we need to see how we get on. It might be that we need to do one of the larger fields for a grain crop or a straw crop, let's put it that way. But yeah, we're going alright so far. I think once we've got... We're not going to get all this, are we? Which is a shame. Once we've got the corn harvested, we'll have 3... No. I think because sorghum and corn, let's have a quick look. Let's have a look at the old animal food overview. So, yeah, so corn and sorghum, we've got wheat, we've got canola in the ground. Either we could do soybeans and sunflowers, you see, as well, so we can rotate through the crops there. We'll do, I don't know whether to do potatoes or sugar beet, I'm not sure yet. Potentially sugar beet. And then obviously corn, sorghum, we can switch between those two. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of variety in the crops that we put in. We're going to need enough money to lease a sugar beet or potato harvest. So I think we're going to go for sugar beets because we could use the oh, what's it called? Big toe behind one. Oh dear, I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a look. Oh, what's it called? Rack thy brain. Beet harvest. Was it this one? Amity. There we go. The old Amity toe behind. Because what's that to... Let's have a look. What's that to lease? 9 grand. So that's doable. So we'll probably use that. We've got a corn header. So we're alright for doing the old... Should be okay for the sunflowers with that, I assume. So we should be good. I think we're going to be fine. And then it's just a case of rinsing, repeating, seeing how many pigs we get over the coming months. We will need to separate out the males, and we'll need to swap the boar out after this, once they're born, probably, because obviously we need to keep the genetics good. That's the thing. So yeah, we should be good, I think. So that's that all done. which is not too shabby. So let's get this unloaded into here, and it does just go. There we are. So what are we at? 20... We're about 28,000, which is good. Not bad off this size field. Not had a great deal done to it. And like I say, going forward, hopefully we'll be able to catch it at the right time for when the moisture's better, is what I'm trying to say. So 27,614 litres of sorghum. I'll get that tipped into the silo, and I'm going to say thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, leave us a like. If you're new here, think about subscribing. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.